Welcome to our channel. Today we delve into the profound last 7 sayings of Jesus Christ on the cross. These sayings, uttered during the most agonizing and pivotal moment in human history, offer a glimpse into the very heart of God. They are not merely words spoken in pain, but pronouncements of love, forgiveness, and triumph. Let us meditate on these words, allowing them to resonate deep within our souls and discover anew the immeasurable love that led Jesus to Calvary. The Roman soldiers, hardened by years of battle and desensitized to suffering, hammer nails through Jesus' hands and feet. He is lifted up, the weight of his body pulling on the wounds. The crowds gather, some curious, others filled with righteous anger, hurling insults and mockery at the one they believe to be a blasphemer. Imagine the scene, the dust, the noise, the raw hatred directed at an innocent man. Yet, in this moment of unimaginable pain, Jesus utters words that echo through eternity. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. These words are not a plea for himself, but an intercessory prayer spoken from a heart overflowing with compassion. Jesus, the high priest, stands before God, not offering a sacrifice of animals, but offering himself. And in that moment, he pleads for those who have wronged him. The very people who orchestrated this brutal execution, who mocked him, spat upon him, stripped him bare. He asks for their forgiveness. This is divine forgiveness without precondition, without limit. It is a love that surpasses our human understanding. Jesus, in his humanity, understands the pain of betrayal, the sting of injustice. Yet, he chooses forgiveness. He sees beyond the surface into the hearts of those who are lost, blinded by their own sin. This first saying of Jesus on the cross is a powerful reminder that forgiveness is not earned, but given freely. On either side of Jesus, 2 criminals are also being crucified. One, hardened by a life of sin, joins the crowd in mocking Jesus, but the other, his heart touched by the palpable presence of divinity, rebukes his companion. Turning his face towards Jesus, he cries out, "Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom." These words, heavy with regret and tinged with hope, hang in the air, and Jesus, his breath growing shallow, responds with a promise that echoes through the ages. "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Imagine the scene, 2 condemned men, their lives ebbing away, and between them, the Son of God, offering not judgment, but salvation. This is a powerful illustration of God's grace and mercy available to all who turn to him in faith. The thief on the cross had no time for good works, for religious rituals or elaborate displays of piety. He had only his faith, his heartfelt plea for mercy. And that, Jesus assures us, is enough. In that single exchange we see the heart of the gospel message. Salvation is not earned through our own efforts, but received as a free gift through faith in Jesus Christ. This second saying of Jesus on the cross is a beacon of hope, reminding us that it is never too late to turn to God. At the foot of the cross, amidst the jeering crowds and the somber spectacle of crucifixion, stood Mary, the mother of Jesus. Her heart, a wellspring of immeasurable love, now overflowed with unbearable sorrow. She had cradled him as a baby, nurtured his childhood, witnessed his ministry, and now, she watched as her son, her Savior, suffered unimaginable agony. Standing beside Mary was John, the disciple whom Jesus loved. Jesus, in his humanity, understood the depth of his mother's grief, the weight of her sorrow. And in his compassion, he reached out, not with his hands, which were nailed to the cross, but with his heart. And he spoke words of comfort and provision. Looking at John, he said, "Behold your mother." Then turning his gaze to Mary, he said, "Behold your son." In that moment, a new family was formed, bound not by blood but by love and shared faith. Jesus, even in his final hours, ensured that his mother would be cared for, that she would have a place of belonging. This act of love and devotion speaks volumes about the character of Jesus. Even in the throes of unimaginable pain, he thought of others, providing for their needs. This third saying of Jesus on the cross is a poignant reminder that relationships matter, that family extends beyond bloodlines. The sun, as if recoiling in horror from the scene unfolding at Golgotha, hid its face, and darkness descended upon the land. It was the 9th hour, and Jesus, his body racked with pain, his spirit burdened by the weight of the world's sin, cried out in a loud voice, "Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani!" which translates to, my God, why have you forsaken me?" These words, raw with anguish, ripped from the depths of his being, echo through the ages, a testament to the depths of his suffering. In this moment of utter desolation, Jesus, the sinless Son of God, took upon himself the full weight of humanity's sin. He became sin for us, separated from the Father's presence, experiencing the agonizing reality of spiritual death. This cry of dereliction is perhaps the most difficult of Jesus' sayings to comprehend. It speaks of a spiritual anguish that we, in our human limitations, can scarcely fathom. Yet, it is in this very moment of abandonment that we see the depths of God's love for us. Jesus, who existed in perfect unity with the Father from eternity past, willingly embraced this separation, this cosmic chasm, so that we might be reconciled to God. This fourth saying of Jesus on the cross is a stark reminder of the cost of our redemption. Chapter 5. I thirst. The hot, dry wind whipped across Golgotha, carrying with it the scent of dust and death. Jesus, his body ravaged by hours of unimaginable suffering, his throat parched from loss of blood, uttered a single searing word, I thirst. This simple statement, spoken in the throes of unimaginable agony, speaks volumes about the humanity of Jesus. He who was God, who created the universe with a word, experienced the very real, very human sensation of thirst. He didn't transcend his physical limitations, he embraced them, experiencing the fullness of human suffering. But this statement goes beyond a mere physical need. It also speaks to a deeper thirst, a spiritual longing. Throughout his ministry, Jesus described himself as living water, offering to quench the spiritual thirst of all who would come to him. Chapter 6. It is finished. The end was near. The weight of sin, the agony of crucifixion, the separation from the Father, it all culminated in this final, triumphant declaration. Jesus, with a strength born of divine purpose, cried out in a loud voice, Tetelestai, it is finished. This was not the cry of defeat, but the roar of victory. The Greek word tetelestai carries with it a sense of completion, of a task accomplished, of a debt fully paid. It was the word used by merchants to signify that a bill had been settled, that the account was cleared. And in that moment, on the cross at Calvary, Jesus settled humanity's debt. He paid the price for our sin, offering himself as the perfect, once-for-all sacrifice. This sixth saying of Jesus on the cross is a declaration of victory over sin and death. Chapter 7. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Twilight descended upon Golgotha, casting long, eerie shadows across the scene of the crucifixion. Jesus, his body broken, his spirit spent, summoned the last vestiges of his strength and uttered his final words, words of surrender, of trust, of unwavering faith. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. These words, a direct quote from Psalm 31 verse 5, were not merely a resignation to death, but a conscious, deliberate act of entrusting himself to the Father's care. Just as he had lived his life in obedience to the Father's will, so too did he face death, with unwavering trust and complete surrender. In that moment, Jesus modeled for us the ultimate act of surrender, entrusting our very lives, our very souls, into the hands of a loving God. He showed us that even in death, even in the face of unimaginable suffering, we can have peace, knowing that we are held securely in the Father's embrace. This seventh and final saying of Jesus on the cross is a beacon of hope, a source of comfort, and a powerful reminder that we are never alone, not even in death. Outro: The Echoes of Calvary. Thank you for watching. We hope this exploration of Jesus' last sayings on the cross has deepened your understanding and faith. These 7 sayings, uttered in the midst of unimaginable pain and suffering, reveal the depths of God's love for humanity. They are more than just historical utterances. They are timeless truths that speak to the very core of our being. May the echoes of Calvary resonate in your heart today and always.